Starting off with the very important symbolism of him walking up the stairs in his rise to fame. This is very much him coming up. We Never Dated was getting very big. We hear it coming through the distance. This is his rise to fame. From the get-go, we see it. And it's really interesting to see how he approaches this party very awkwardly. You see everyone else walking quite normally, and there's a stiffness. He doesn't even attempt the social situation. Welcome to My Body Isn't Ready, the music video analysis. It starts off with this very important sun sculpture, which is foreshadowing for metamorphosis and change, so keep that noted. Aside from that, it's very important to note that Indy eats watermelon because she is healthy and refreshing for him. She is different compared to everyone else who is in swimmers and drinking alcohol. She is very much a contrast to the rest of the party. Now, what is also important is the contrast of their costuming. We have Sombr's black suit, which is also highly reminiscent of Edward Scissorhands, which gets very important very quickly. But this black suit and white dress means that opposites attract, and it's very reminiscent of marriage or perhaps symbolic of a long-term relationship. And this is what we see already. The attraction to each other, the opposites are drawing. The card scene is an important nod to the way that you may be famous and popular, but you will still experience scrutiny and a lot of hate on the internet, and you will internalize that regardless of how much love or hate you receive. This scene is really important because it's the most intimate we see, and it's the closest he's been to a person this whole party, so it's very important to note their closeness from that interaction. We see this bare scene because nothing happens, and it's the rawness of just himself, so it's the acceptance of this is who I am. Now, this mirror scene is really important because it is representative of body dysmorphia. I think it does it very well. It warps, and in contrast to his raw acceptance of himself is very important as a contrast. This scene is very significant as Sombr watches love from afar. The implications of fame is so dramatic that he can no longer experience normal romantic relationships. So viewing them from afar, just as we see like in Edward Scissorhands, is a new norm. And to watch that love happen and not be able to partake in it is something that is mourning. And we also see how he tries to emulate that love or something like it. I think the papier-mâché could also be, it's symbolic for so many things that I think it could be that yearn to be someone else. But at the same time, I wholeheartedly believe that this is representative of him being incapable of having autonomy anymore, being taken around and tossed about and, event to event, trying to seem normal. And I find the position that he's also stuck in is very interesting because it's almost supposed to be emulating comfort and feeling comfortable, but he looks stiff. So we have this very nice, contrast. It's a very beautiful irony. Very sad. Being tossed from the limousine is representative of the way in which the industry will take these young artists and absolutely chew them up, work them till they're tired, and break them down. And this is representative of the way in which the industry has broken him, has taken everything, and has taken what most people live for, which is the ability to love someone. This is when our little sun sculpture becomes very important, as we notice the tears from the sculpture previously are on his face, just as the sculpture has in the beginning, and there is also now the rawness and vulnerability of not having a shirt on and accepting that and your physique the way it is. Through acceptance, he can finally embrace the affections of another, and it allows him to experience love on a different level and through a different perspective. It allows him to see himself differently, but also accept himself and grow on that acceptance to something that is perhaps closer to self-love. And then we also have the fireworks, which is emulating the stars around his face, or I guess the sunbeams. And what we see is this transformation of character, this ability to love and to find someone at the same time, and to also look at things differently in a different perspective. Accept and love yourself, and you will find love. Thank you for tuning in.